I do it to stay sharp. I take care of my body, but it's much harder to work out my brain.
Velociraptor.
Afternoon, Velociraptors. Welcome back to another Wednesday. So let's look at the headlines that are making news this... Does that even make sense? Making news this February the 6th. So, some of the big things are Fall Out Boy have released a new single. Oh my god, how exciting. Hey, they've come back together. However, I know a lot of people are sort of longing for the old school Fall Out Boy, and it doesn't look like they're coming back anytime soon. I'm sorry. Their new single's called something like, I don't know, My Songs Know the Bad Things You've Done. I don't frickin' know. It's actually not that bad. It kind of grows on you, but it's definitely no Grand Theft Autumn. So I have finally done it. Yes, I have enrolled in a makeup course, finally to become qualified. I am very excited about this. The course I'm doing is the Napoleon Perdis Bridal Fashion and Glamour Makeup Artistry Certificate. So it's going to teach me all the tools of the trade and everything like that. I feel like I can do makeup to a degree, but I think just that formal training just gives me a little bit more confidence, a little bit more reinforcement. Hey! Alright, and the biggest news of today coming out of the UK is that the UK Parliament have taken massive steps towards legalising gay marriage in the United Kingdom. Woo! How exciting, huh? So, it's still got a fair way to go, but this is such a massive step, and I'm really, really hoping, because, you know, Australia being part of the Commonwealth and everything like that, that we will soon follow suit. That's if Julia Gillard can get off her ass and actually do something, for once, for civil equality. Ooh, controversial! Anyway, very quickly, let's address some of the ladies, hey? So, Chloe, you went to the Lady Gaga concert. How exciting is that? That's amazing. I am so excited for you. I know I went last year to the Born This Way ball. I went to the Monster Ball in 2010 as well, and I just adore that woman. I think that sense of community that really, you know, I mean, that was probably my highlight, was just walking around outside and amongst all the drag queens and all the people dressed up in these enormous glittery garbs and just being, you know, absolutely eccentric and insane. I wish everyone dressed like that every day, but alas, they do not. So I really felt that sense of kinship when I was there, so I hope you had the same experience. Okay, so, Friday, your mum, she is so cute. Your mum is adorable. I love her. You know, and she's just, I wish there were more people out there who, you know, were as supportive as she is, you know, especially of our generation and everything like that, and androgyny and just LGBT and everything in general, you know, so, yeah, kudos. Your mum, A+, adorable. Saturday, your brother. Now, I have met your brother before on Tiny Chat, I think, not by myself, that's a little creepy, but I'm talking, like, with you, of course, and, yeah, you know, you guys just get on like a freaking house on fire, even though, you know, you fight and stuff like that, but that's just what brothers do, right, you know, like, so, I thought that was, really, really fun and really random to watch, so, yeah, mwah, loved it. So, now we're on to this week's topic. I'll address that in a moment, but first of all, I'm going to address Rouge. Rouge, you and I are very similar, I guess, in the sense of we're both... I like decadence, and you like decadence. You know, that very elaborate, go hard or go home kind of a thing, you know, and I find a strong connection in terms of our aesthetics because of that. What are you talking about, girl? You're saying that no one in a club is going to pay attention to Rouge Noir? Hello? You are stunning, and you don't need me to tell you that because you know it, and, yeah, oh my god. You dressing like your absolute stunningly beautiful self like you did in your Monday video this week, going out to a club, oh, god, you have to keep all the boys off you. Tuesday, Tommy, wow, so, I'm going to first of all say that your shoulders don't look big. It might have just been the angle, but no. I agree. Mila Jovovich, oh my god, I have the same issue. I know it's a simple, there are harder names to pronounce, but I always bugger it up myself. But she is absolutely stunning. stunning. Like, from, I'm thinking from like the first Resident Evil where she wore that little sort of red number, you know, it was a bit, it was built for action, but it was also kind of evening wear as well. Oh my god, that girl. Oh, makes my heart flutter. Makes my heart flutter. Alright, that's enough jibber jabber. Let's get into the topic, shall we? So the topic this week is who or what influences your style? And this was suggested by Aura. Now, like Rouge said, we have covered this topic before. I think it was actually in week 2. Now it is officially week 40. So I think it's a good refresher because people's tastes change, and we have, what, two members that are brand spanking new to this actual topic, so yeah, I think it's a great one to rehash. Okay, so I'm going to reel off very quickly some of the things that influence me and my style. So I'm going to say things like music, of course. Music is got to be one of the biggest influences I have. Then there's history, there is other people's cultures, there's my own culture, art, 80s, I adore the 80s. I know, Rouge, you said you weren't as keen on the 80s, but I think that's what attracts me to the 80s, is this sort of sense of hyper-realism, and I love when you think of a typical 80s look, it is really sort of akin with this 80s futurism, you know, it was very, you know, shoulder pads, very sleek, very Tron, you know, so I think our 80s are probably where I would absolutely just be like swimming and flourishing, because I just adore the aesthetics of that era. Typically, I choose style over comfort. Not always the case, but I think if you look smoking and, you know, then you feel smoking, and I think that feeling for me tends to override that sense of, oh my god, I can't feel my toes. So, you know, that's if you can understand. For example, I do love a good heel. I'm trying to get into using them in everyday wear. For example, I've got one of my heels here, which you can see. It's just it's just a boot, really. It's just a very, very plain boot as well. But I just figured something plain that can go with everything is something that would be highly suited to everyday wear. So I'm feeling very comfortable in these, but also very stylish. However, if we go to the other end of the spectrum, and I'm going to show you some of my going out heels, which you've seen before. These are my Jeffrey Campbell spiked leaders. Bing. So you know, it's quite high. It's you know, and they're pretty comfortable, but I'm sure there's more uncomfortable shoes out there, but you do lose sensation in your toes after a few hours out on the D floor. So, lastly, to recap that, I think some of my influences stylistically, I really adore that sort of corporate femme look, you know, that sort of, it's a bit feminine, but it's also a sense of sort of empowerment, in sense of, like, I love blazers, but nothing too masculine, but, you know, it's sort of like a feminine masculine, you know, so I'm sort of going that way, as opposed to being, like, masculine with a little feminine edge. So, that's sort of something that I really think suits my body type and suits my personality quite well. Also, Gothic subculture. I adore Gothic subculture, and there is a lot about it that really I identify with, and I've identified with for years. So you can see that maybe in my makeup, maybe not necessarily today because I have hot pink lips on, but, you know, other days, you know, or just in general, you know, I am attracted to black, I'm attracted to spikes, I'm attracted to that sense of gloom, but also sort of celebrating that sense of gloom, you know what I mean? So yeah, Gothic subculture, big one for me. And finally, I cannot neglect to mention the andro community. Now, when I say the andro community, I mean the people I have met online who just really, really give me inspiration in terms of strength and just courage, and, you know, in terms of, I'm going to do some shout outs, I guess, very quickly. For example, like Sadlerette, the girls over on Androgenetics, John Laidlaw, Joseph Harwood, Chase and Frost, there's a million. There's so many out there, and I'm inspired just because I really think, you know, like if I go out and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear, you know, that heel, or maybe I shouldn't wear that top, or maybe I shouldn't do my makeup that way, and then I think, what would that person do? And that just all of a sudden goes, you know, fuck it, throw it to the wind. This is me, and I'm going to rock myself out. And I think that inspiration is drawn a lot from that kinship, and knowing that I don't feel like I'm doing such an inaccurate decision when I know that there are people out there who feel the same way and are brave enough to do it as well. Also, of course, the guys over here on Femme Ferocity. Yeah, so anyway, that's a big source of inspiration for me in terms of my aesthetic and just in my daily life. Anyway, God, this video is probably going for over 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up right here. So, 2 things I can just request of you. The very first one is please subscribe. Subscribe to Femme Ferocity and subscribe to my personal channel, which is Davey K. Davey. There's a link down below. I would love it because, you know, I just love to see all your smiling faces and your beautiful comments over my way as well here on Femme Ferocity. So please subscribe there. Also, we have the ultra stylish, ultra lovely, ultra glamorous Sadlerette joining us this Sunday as a very special guest. So I would love you to give her a very, very warm welcome because she is a big inspiration to me and a very good friend of mine out here on the internet. So yes, woo, Sadlerette. So tune in on Sunday to see that too. Anyway guys, that's the end of this Wednesday. I'm sorry this did go over 10 minutes. I can't see the timer, but I just know it did. So, whatevs, YOLO. I'm going to talk to you all next week. So, until then, mwah, farewell.
Femme Ferocity.